Tim Saunders with Steve Coates at Skate Zone in Voorhees, not far from the start of training camp for the Flyers. And among the new faces that we're going to see this year, certainly from a forward standpoint, the two guys that are going to be given every opportunity to make this club would include Scott Laughton and Pierre-Edouard Bellemare. Let's talk about Laughton first. He has been called a Mike Richards type player, and that's pretty high expectations to live up to.
Very high. I mean, we all know what Mike Richards has done. We watched him for many years here with the Philadelphia Flyers, and he's a winner. There's no two ways about it. He's a winner. So when you got a guy like Laughton, who had a heck of a year playing junior for the Oshawa Generals again. I mean, he's one of the top players in Canada. He had a good start last year. It looked like he might have stuck here for a bit, but it didn't happen. So he went back and had a great year. Is there room for him here? That's the big thing. Okay, you're really tied up pretty good in the middle right now. Maybe that fourth line center position, but do you want to waste that on a young player right now and not put him in the minors to learn? Because you still have to learn no matter what happens in this game. But I think Scott Laughton has a great attitude. I had an opportunity to talk to him during the trial on the Isle about a couple of weeks ago, and he's got a great attitude. He's coming in with an awful lot of confidence, so he could be a guy that could surprise.
I guess the bottom line is nothing's going to be given to Laughton or anybody else for that matter. The other guy that nobody really knows a whole lot about is Bellemare. Made a name for himself playing in Europe and at the World Championships, especially last year, and this is a guy that is called a well-rounded player with above-average speed.
I don't think he's Yeri DePita, because that was the last time the Flyers experimented with with an older player coming from the European League, and things were going to be great. One thing, if he does make this hockey club, we have to make a decision whether he's going to be either Pierre or he's going to be Edward. It's just too much trouble to be able to say Pierre-Edouard Bellemare. Okay, you all right with that?
How about P.E.?
P.E. Bellemare would be fine. I'd like that. But everybody's raving about this guy. I mean, 29 years old. He's going to have to come over. He's going to have to learn how to play in that smaller ice surface, which is a big adjustment. But to take a chance on a player that's 29 years old, that tells me something about this player. This tells me that the management thinks this highly of him, that they want him in this hockey team. So I think it's a great move. I think it's a great opportunity for him, and it's a great opportunity for this hockey club to fill some voids that they have.
Could be a little like Michael Raffel, and maybe a fit on the third line with Couturier and Matt Reed.
Could be anything. It's going back to those combinations we've talked about many, many times. And, you know, we always like to sit and go, okay, that's the way our lines are going to be. And the coaches sit there every day and they look at the different combinations. You know, the hot topic right now is analytics. Well, analytics are very important because you're only as good as the center that you play with, or the center's only as good as the wingers he plays with. And so if you can get the perfect combinations of, let's say, a playmaker and a guy that is a shooter and a guy that's creative, all these different things come together, then that, from an analytical standpoint, is the perfect circumstance. So when you take a look at these different players, everybody brings something to the table, and it's just a matter of time, once you see it in training camp, where you're going to go.
And that's what training camp's all about. Weed through that and figure out where everybody fits. With Steve Coates at Skate Zone, I'm Tim Saunders.